Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Sam, and I want to talk to you about the new Bank of America Community Affordable Loan Solution. Now, this is a new program that Bank of America is introducing. They had a press release about it in August of 2022, in case you're watching this video a little bit later. And basically, this program is offering zero down payment, zero closing costs for Black and Latino first time home buyers. I'm going to talk a little bit about what this program really is, what it does, what is the criteria to apply for these types of loans, and my general thoughts of what I think about this program. So basically, what is this? What is this initiative? Well, you can see here they're they're offering a zero down payment, zero closing cost mortgage to advance the home ownership of Black and Latino first time home buyers. And this is a $15 billion commitment that Bank of America is trying to initiate. And they want to help these families obtain affordable mortgages in order for them to purchase a home. So, question is, why are they doing this? Why are they spending $15 billion to help people of color? Maybe they feel guilty. Who knows? But honestly, guys, the reason why is because there is a lot of discrimination in housing, especially amongst Black and Latinos. And we all know, if you do your history, a lot of the banks are involved in this discrimination. So I guess this is a way for them to show goodwill and to give back to the community and try to bring that wealth gap a little bit closer between people of color and non-minorities. They want to shrink that wealth gap so that housing could be affordable. Housing should be a right and it should be affordable, but we know that it isn't. And Bank of America is doing their job to try to help the community. So, which area will they cover? So, this is not a program that's going to be in every major city. It's only going to be in select cities. So, they're targeting Black and Latino neighborhoods in Charlotte, Dallas, Detroit, Los Angeles, and Miami, where I am. So, I'm not sure if they're going to go into other cities, but for right now, these are the areas that they're focusing on. So, how does this program work? What do you got to do to kind of qualify for this type of loan? So, I'm going to have a link to this press release here that Bank of America released. But basically, they're using what they call a special purpose credit program. So, what this means is that they basically use guidelines that are different from how you would normally obtain a loan, right? So, they're going based on uh, other things. So things like timely rent, your utility bills, your phone and auto insurance payments. You're looking to see that you're able to make these payments and that you will be able to pay your mortgage. Basically, what they're doing is they're using these credit guidelines or these non traditional guidelines to determine if you're able to make payments on time and in a timely manner. So if you're paying your rent on time, you're paying your auto insurance on time. Obviously, you're doing what you have to do to make sure you're not late and that you're making those payments. So that's kind of what they're looking at. It's a different criteria than how other loans usually use for their criteria for obtaining a loan. So this one is a little bit more relaxed, but there's a reason why that is. So it may come back in the form of a higher interest rate, which I think is going to happen. But then again, they're saying they're offering no down payment and no closing costs. The cost is going to come from somewhere, and I think it's going to be a higher interest rate. These type of loans require no mortgage insurance and a minimum credit score. So you don't need to have like a 620, 740, although that would be good. And that's what you should strive for. But shit, in case you don't have it, according to what I'm reading here, you don't have necessarily have to have that. And eligibility is based on income and location. So obviously you have to be in these areas where Bank of America wants to provide these loans. Also, to qualify, buyers must complete a home buyer certification course provided by BOA and HUD, which is the Housing Urban Development Association. Buyers must also complete a home buyers orientation, which is provided by Bank of America and HUD, which is the United States Housing and Urban Development Association. So, what is BOA's goal in all of this? What are they trying to do? As I said before, they're trying to offer affordable mortgages and assist 60,000 families by the year 2025. So far, they've gotten about to half of that number. They're essentially trying to close the gap in ownership between whites and Black and Hispanic Americans. So the gap between whites and Black Americans is about 30%, and the gap between white and Hispanic Americans is about 20%. So this is going to be challenging because we are in a competitive marketplace, and it's very difficult for people of color, especially in these times, to buy homes. So Bank of America is trying to make it a little bit easier for people of color to get loans. And of course, there is something in it for them because obviously they'll be writing these loans, they'll be earning interest off these loans. So don't think that, they're not going to make a profit. Obviously, they are. They're a bank. They're there to make money. But in the same breath, they're also making it affordable for people of color to get these loans. So far, from what we're reading. So, with that said, what are my general thoughts? So, I don't know. I feel like you should try to get loans the traditional way, but obviously, if you don't have the income, you don't have the credit score, this is obviously a great way to get into home ownership. I know there's a lot of things on the internet. There's a lot of videos that are done about, should you trust Bank of America? Should you get a loan through them based on what we've seen in the past and some of the egregious things we have seen done to people of color. But think about it. If you're not able to get into a home, you're paying rent, you don't have the income to traditionally get a loan the traditional way, and they're providing a path. Why not? This is a great entryway to get in. But here are some of the things that I think about. I don't know about those other markets, but in Miami, the cost of purchasing a home is really high. Like the average home price right now is close to about 600,000. So I don't know if this program would help in a city like Miami where the home prices are just outrageous. And if you're talking about a family that's already having issues with making a decent amount of income, will they have the income to support a home that's over 600,000? You know, I think about these things like, is that possible? The other thing is, what will that interest rate look like? You're not putting down any, you're not putting down any money. Your closing costs are going to be zero. They said zero down payment, zero closing costs. So that money has to come from somewhere, right? So is your interest rates going to be high? What is that going to look like? Because if your interest rate is high, that means your payment is going to be high. And if your payment is high, are you going to be able to maintain the house? Are you going to be able to keep the house? So that's the other thing. So these types of loans to me seem kind of risky based on the guidelines that they're asking for. So basically you don't have to have a good credit. You're not putting down any money. It just seems kind of risky to me because for the bank's part and also for the homeowner, because if they're in a city like Miami where the home prices are outrageous and they get a loan like this where their interest rate is out the roof, they're not going to be there that long. So that's something to think about. Bank of America has done a program like this. It's called the NACA program. I'll have another link to that, but they do the same thing. But the thing that I like about NACA is that they have financial counselors there to see if you can make those payments. So they basically check your income. They put everything on a board, all how much you're bringing in, how much is going out, everything. And they lay it all out on the table, and they basically will tell you how much house you can afford. And okay, this is how much house you can get. Go find a realtor and go find it. And that program to me seems more realistic because, people are making a certain income, so they're only going to be able to afford a certain amount of house. You don't want to get into a situation where you're making more payments on a house or your income is going over 50% of your income is going to paying for a house, because then that leaves you with nothing. So you don't want to get into a situation like that at all. So just to wrap things up here, I think this is an excellent way to enter home ownership, but there are caveats that you have to be aware of. like what are the interest rates going to be like? And if you're in a city where home prices are through the roof, are you going to be able to afford living in that city? And will you be able to afford those payments, being that the home prices are sky high? So there are some obstacles. My suggestion would be work on your credit, fix your credit, and save. Don't go to Starbucks every day. Don't turn off Netflix, read a book, save your money and just wait, try to get a FHA the traditional way. Yeah, this program is great, but I think if you work hard enough, you can get a loan the traditional way. So those are my thoughts. You guys tell me your thoughts. Leave them in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching.